Hello everybody, it's me, your mate Elliot from ETJ English, and today we're combining slang and pronunciation together. Let's do it. I know that you guys love learning pronunciation, that's what this channel is about. And I also know that you love slang and British expressions. And one of the most popular videos on my channel is some common English expressions that we use here in the UK. So I thought today I'd actually teach you how to pronounce some of those words and some new words. So we're going to learn a little bit of the meaning of these words, but mainly the pronunciation. And in particular, we're focusing on how to pronounce the tricky parts of the words. So the vowels, or maybe some consonant clusters, or pronouncing the T or not pronouncing the T. So just how to sound the most British when we pronounce these British slang words. Makes sense, right? So let's get straight into it. We're going to start with probably the two most common slang or kind of native words in British English, and those are cheers and, can you guess the next one? Mate. Cheers, mate. They both have two sounds which are kind of related to each other. We call them diphthongs. Now diphthongs are when we combine two vowels and we push them together. And when we push them together, they become a diphthong. One sound, but with two vowels in it. So we have ear and a. E, a. Ear, a. Cheers, mate. So look what I'm doing with my mouth. Firstly with ear. Imagine you're really happy and you want to produce the E sound. You do a nice smile with the mouth and the tongue goes slightly high in the top of the mouth. And then imagine you're really, really happy, right? You're smiling, you're really happy, and then suddenly something bad happens. Your mouth is going to go neutral. So ear, ear. And the tongue should go to the middle of the mouth to pronounce the schwa sound. Cheers. Try it without the z at the end. Cheer. Now try and add the z on the end. Cheers. A very similar sound. A. So tongue should be near the front in the middle of the mouth. And then the tongue's going up and we're doing that smiling shape again. A. Now let's try it without the t at the end. May. Mate. So let's try them both together now. Cheers, mate. Now you don't have to pronounce the T at the end of mate. It's actually quite common for people to say mate. However, you need to know how to pronounce the glottal T, which is essentially a sound we create in the throat where we cut the sound off and we create some tension. It's almost like I'm silently pronouncing it inside of my mouth. I'm not doing any T at all. It's a very, very common British thing, and this happens a lot with the word mate. So, sounding like a native, we would say, cheers, mate. Next one, a word for money, we would say quid. So I would say there are two difficulties here. Firstly is the consonant cluster, the k and the w joining together. Kwa. We have to do it all in one quick motion. So the k sound, we have to press our tongue, kind of the middle of our tongue, up against the top of our mouth. K, k. And the front of the tongue should be going down into the bottom of our mouth. And we're creating pressure to create a k sound. Okay, we have to push the air out and release the tongue when it's pressing against the top of the mouth. K, k, k. Okay, now you need to add a w into it, which makes it really difficult for some learners. The w sound, we create a very small round shape with the mouth, like in a word like woman, okay? But we're combining it with a k, and we need to do it all in one breath. Quid, k, w, k, w. Now try them together. Kwa, kwa. Now the next difficulty that people find is the I sound. Lots of people pronounce it as E, so I hear many of my students saying quid, but we need it to be quid, I. So to pronounce the I sound, if you remember the E sound I talked about before, it's similar, but we do need to make it firstly shorter, and we need to move the tongue down just a little bit lower. It should be just below the top teeth or just behind the sharp edge of the top teeth. And the chin should drop down just slightly. Qui, I. Quid, quid. Now I said about when we're really upset or disappointed or annoyed about something, we might be gutted, okay? Now the important thing here is actually the ending of the word. We're not saying gutted, we're saying gutted. Although it's spelt with an ED, we're pronouncing it as id. So we're doing this I sound again. Gu-tid, gu-tid, gutted. Next word I want to practice has a very, very British sound. This British sound is so important to make you sound more British, and it's the O sound. And the word is brolly. So a brolly is the short word for an umbrella, and you always need an umbrella in England, even in the summer, trust me. The sound is O, okay? Now this sound is so important to British English because it's in words like lots and not. And an American would say lots and not. We do this O sound, which just makes us sound British. So we really need to make sure we get this sound correct. Brolly. Now, the other difficulty here is we have another consonant cluster. We have a B and an R. Brr, b-r, bruh, bro, bro. Now, I think the best way to practice this consonant cluster is including the O sound. So to produce this O sound, we need to keep the tongue quite low, but we need to push it back slightly into the back of the mouth, so it's low and in the back of the mouth, and we create a very, very round shape with the mouth. O, bro, brolly. See if you can find some more words with the O sound in it and keep practicing it to sound a bit more British in your speech. Now, everybody knows this one. I've taught this one a few times in some lessons, but still I haven't taught the pronunciation, and this word is knackered. Everybody loves this word, and I've heard many people pronounce it wrong. To be knackered simply means tired, okay? Knackered. N is the beginning, okay? Although it begins with a K, it's a silent K. We don't say knackered. We have to start with a N sound. Na. Okay, now the A sound, tongue low at the front of the mouth, behind your bottom teeth. A. Open wide. Knackered. Now we have a schwa sound here. Okay, so knackered, could. Okay, so we're doing an sound in there. Tongue in the middle of the mouth, relaxed. Knackered, could, and it has to be said quickly. Knackered, knackered. And when we're a little bit hungry, we might say that we are peckish. Peckish. I think that's quite an easy one. E and I are the two vowels there. Lots of people do get confused by these two vowels. We have E, where we need to keep the tongue at the front and the middle of the mouth. And then I, the tongue just needs to go a little bit higher. So we have I. Peckish, peckish. And if we're a little bit drunk, we might say that we are smashed. Now, the main thing I want to focus on here is the sh at the end. So we're doing a sh sound, and then we need to quickly finish with a t. And we need to do all of this in one breath. It's a consonant cluster. So do it with me. Sh. Imagine you're ending the story. You're ending that sound, the sh sound, with a very quick t. Smashed. Smashed. So if you were drunk last weekend, you could say, I was smashed last weekend. And finally, I like to use this word when I'm talking about someone, a male person I don't really know. So I could say, for example, I was walking in the street yesterday and I saw this bloke. Very, very British word here, bloke. And again, we have a diphthong. O. O. So we have schwa, and then oo. Bloke. Bloke. Blah, blah, blah. So b and l, we need to join those together. Bloke. Bloke. And another word which has that O sound in it would be loaded. Again, finishing with id. Loaded. If you're loaded, it means you have lots of money. And skint. That's the opposite. That means you have no money. At the moment, I'm skint. Skint. Now that's all of your words, and I really hope this helps you with learning how to pronounce some of these words which I've taught you before. It's all good learning a new word and learning new words, but if you don't know how to pronounce them, then you can't really use them. So that's why I did this lesson today, and pronunciation is my speciality. It's my full-time job to teach people pronunciation, and you can become one of my students, and I'd love to help you. All you have to do is click the link in the description below to go to etjenglish.com, and you can join my online pronunciation course, which will teach you how to reduce your accent and how to replace your current accent with a new beautiful British accent with intonation, stress, vowels, everything. And you also get to talk to me on WhatsApp whenever you want, with voice messaging and feedback and just conversation. So I'd love to meet you there. Feel free to come and see me in next week's YouTube video. Take care, cheers guys, bye.